What's up, freak snitches? That's right, we got another table talk coming at you. Oh, so what do we got now? Got this. Oh my goodness. It's one of those scary black rifles. Oh! Yeah, that's right. It's the scary black rifle that everybody wants to ban so much, but you just can't seem to touch. They should make one out of Teflon because it's straight untouchable. Everything just rolls off of it. So, what is this one right here? This is a Ruger AR-556. A Ruger, you say? Yes, a Ruger. A lot of us remember back in the day when Bill Ruger was not too fond of military-styled weapons. He was very old school. You know, when they're like, make a semi-automatic large magazine rifle, he came out with the Mini 14. Nothing wrong with the Mini 14, but, you know, in the realm of AR-15s, the Mini 14 was kind of obsolete in terms of cosmetic looking. Which is kind of weird, because the AR-15 and the Mini 14 do the exact same thing and shoot the exact same round. The only difference is how they look. But if you look at California's weapons bans, the AR-15 is all over that bad boy, whereas the Mini 14 is nowhere to be seen. That right there alone proves that the weapons ban is all cosmetic, but I will get into that at a later date, later time. Right now, we're talking about this scary black rifle. All right, the AR-556. This is not Ruger's first soiree into the AR-15 realm. The first time they decided to jump into the realm, they came out with a rifle called the SR-556. Now, the SR-556 AR-15 platform, but instead of being gas driven, it was piston driven. Also, it had a lot of different kinds of furniture on this bad boy. It had Troy Industries, pretty much Troy Industries, everything on that rifle. Because it was piston driven, it was a lot heavier than some AR-15s that were out there. And it also came with the $2,000 price tag. Nobody wanted to spend that kind of money on an AR-15 made by a company that has never made an AR-15 before in their life. So, what'd they do? It took them a while, but they finally listened to the people, and then they came out with this, the AR-556. So, what makes this one a little bit more special than the SR-556? Well, for starters, everything that you see sitting on the table, minus the light and the optic system and this buttstock and this end plate, everything was made in-house by Ruger. Basically, the entire weapon was made in-house at Ruger's facility in North Carolina. All right? So that drives the price point down, okay? Remember that. The price point driven down because the entire weapon was made in-house by Ruger. All right? So what else made this one special? Well, for starters, you don't see a Troy Industries handrail on it. You don't see a Troy Industries buttstock. You don't see a Troy Industries pistol grip. You don't see Troy Industries backup sights. You don't see any kind of battle comp or anything on there. So that drives the price point down as well. All right? So, are you guys ready to talk about what this bad boy is, what it does, and all that good stuff? All right, let's do this. First, we're going to go from the front. Yeah, different. Going from the front. This is Ruger's Proprietary modified A2 flash hider. Yeah, you can see I got a little scuffing on there. Yeah, I do some things. Yeah, this is modified because if you notice, most A2 flash hiders come with the bottom closed off. Now, I know a lot of people say that the A2 flash hider with the closed off bottom. I am dropping my sticks, y'all. Pick it up. All right. Speaking of dropping sticks, wrap it up. It's getting wild out there. Well, okay, now, while most A2 flash hiders come with the closed off bottom, I've always been told the reason why an A2 flash hider has a closed off bottom on, you know, standard A2 flash hider you'll find on any AR-15, you know, M4 style. The reason why it's closed off is because when guys are shooting in the prone, they don't want the dust kicking up. Now, this isn't closed off at the bottom, so, you know, you can go ahead and just, yeah, see, it's not closed off at the bottom, all right? So the dust is going to kick up if you're shooting in the prone. But another reason why I heard a lot of people say the bottom is closed off is because it adds some sort of braking to the muzzle device, to the to flash hider. Maybe if it did, I didn't feel it because it was just that minimal. I don't know. Maybe some people who are better men at this can talk to me about that, and we'll come to a conclusion. This one, it does its job. It hides the flash, and it also adds a little bit of recoil mitigation. Not a lot, but it's an AR-15. You know, it shoots 5.56. If you're worried about recoil on the 5.56, then maybe you shouldn't be shooting. I know girls that can shoot 5.56 all day long and twice on Sunday. You know what I'm saying? So, we're going off to the barrel now. The barrel is chambered in 5.56, hence the name, AR-556. It's chambered in 5.56. You can also shoot 2.23, you know, but that goes without saying, so I'm not going to say it again. It also has a 1/8 twist. Now, with the 1/8 twist rate, basically what the 1/8 twist is talking about is the rifling on the barrel. Well, your standard military and law enforcement M4s come with a 1/7 twist because they use higher grade ammunition. The 1/8 twist allows you to shoot anywhere between 35 grain and 77, 78 grain. Maybe 77 is the tops. I don't know. I think it's 77. But 35 to 77. We're just going to go with 77. It allows you to shoot 35 grains to 77 grains. That's a wide range of bullet grains that you can go ahead and shoot with. And the reason why it's like that is because they know that people are going to get out there, going to have fun. Sometimes they're going to have enough money to buy the expensive ammunition, so they're going to go with the cheap stuff. You're going to need a barrel that can handle that cheap stuff at the low grain, and you're going to need a barrel to handle that good stuff at the high grain, just in case you use this rifle for like competitions or something like that. You know, whatever. Moving right along. This is the standard A2 front sight block. It also doubles as a gas block, front sight post, front sight block, whatever you want to call it. Underneath this mechanism right here is a bayonet lug. You can't see it because I got my light on there, but underneath it is a bayonet lug. And also there's a QD cup in there. Just in case you have a sling with the QD mount, you can go ahead and plug it up in there. Speaking of plugging it up, wrap it up, fellas. Wrap it up. It's getting wild out there. Alright, this is one-piece milled anodized aluminum. Now, the problem with anodized aluminum is it reflects the sun like crazy. So, what did Ruger do to help you out a little bit? Right here. Look, you can hear it. They have serrated ridges milled into the front sight post. What's that for? That is to mitigate the glare from the sun. Because if you notice the angle, the sun will come straight down, hit that, and go right back into your optic sight. Way to go, Ruger. They go ahead and mill that out a little bit. Milled it out of one piece of aluminum, gave you serrated edges to mitigate the glare. Anodized. Good stuff. Alright. The handguards. Standard polymer or glass-filled nylon, whatever you want to call it. They do have a slimmer profile than the normal M4 AR-15 mil-spec handguards that you see on military and law enforcement weapons. It's a slimmer profile, so it's not as bulky. Look, I could like pretty much wrap my entire hand around that bad boy. But I also have big hands, so don't use me as a gauge. All right? But these also don't come with the aluminum lines on the inside. But even without the aluminum line, it does mitigate the heat from the barrel so you don't get hot. Your hands don't get hot when you're gripping and shooting it, you know? So, moving right along. Also, let me show you this. The Delta ring. Look at that. The Delta ring is twist on, twist off. Okay, old school heads. Without using the Delta ring tool, what's the best way to get a Delta ring off? I'll tell you my method. Hey man, can you come over here and help me real quick? Yeah, that was my method. Alright? We didn't have Delta ring tools when I was shooting. You know what I'm saying? So, this gun's been out roughly for 60 years. 60, 70 years. And no one thought about a screw-on, screw-off Delta ring assembly. This is another proprietary part made by Ruger. They were really putting their thinking caps on when they were putting this rifle together. Alright? Look at that. Screw on, screw off. Genius, genius. That's right. Now, moving right along. Serra forged upper and lower receiver. Made in-house. Look at that there. They got the Ceraforge marks on it. See what I'm saying? So, you know, some good stuff. It's made by Ruger, you know. The lower parts kit, the trigger assembly and all that good stuff. Standard military stuff. I don't have a trigger poundage scale, but, you know, just from the feel of it, it's about 6, 7, 8 pound trigger. Standard military trigger. I don't need one of those 2 pound, 3 pound triggers, all right? I know how to manipulate the trigger all on its own. Charging handle. Standard military style charging handle. Now we're talking about, you see them on every rifle that you get in the world. This is the bolt carrier group, all right? If you notice the inside of the gas key, chrome line. Inside of the bolt carrier, chrome line. You know, has a little milling out here. I don't know what that milling is for, but that's something that Ruger did. Also, another part made in-house by Ruger. All right, so cool beans on that one. I'm gonna put this back in. Just call that a day. Close this bad boy back up. Right, we got right here a backup sight. It's a flip-up backup sight. All right. Kind of reminds me of the Magpul M-Bus, but it's not. This one is a Ruger part. You know, nothing real special about it. You press the button, the sight pops up. One thing about this sight that I do not, well, I don't really care, but a lot of people have problems with, is it's only one aperture. Whereas normal sights come with a, what they call the night aperture, the day and night aperture, or the close and far aperture, whatever you want to call it. This one only comes with one. It doesn't bug me much. All right, so I'm not really going to complain too much about it, but I know a few people that do complain about it, and, you know, I'm just like, hey, whatever, man. You know, I still go out there and shoot. The pistol grip, it's nice, it's robust, you know, it has a nice palm swell going on it, you know, so you don't have to worry about it being all small. It doesn't have that indentation that I hate with normal, you know, pistol grips that you get, the normal mil-spec ones. It doesn't have that indentation, you know, I hate that. It has a beaver tail going on the backside. Pretty good stuff. The trigger well, you know, if you notice, it has an advanced trigger well. You know, so that way if you're shooting with your mittens, or what most people call them gloves, I call them mittens because mittens are cooler. You'd be like, yo, what's up, man? Look at my mittens, yo. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, if you're shooting with your glove, you don't have to worry about your gloved finger getting caught up inside the trigger well. Speaking of gloves, wrap it up, y'all. It's getting wild out there. Yeah, you don't have to worry about your finger getting caught up in the trigger well if you're wearing the glove. It's nice, open-ended, you know, it handles its business. All right. What did I change on it? Right here, going to a part that I changed. I changed out the end plate. There's a normal end plate. I changed it out for a slinged end plate. So, you know, it's whatever. I got double sling just in case I need to sling on the left or the right. You know, change it out. That's one thing I wish Ruger would have put on there, is like a sling end plate, but they didn't. I'm not complaining because I got like millions of those just sitting in my toolbox. The castle nut was not staked. Don't care. You know, I'll just tighten it down if I'm going into Fallujah or something. I'll just tighten it down. It'll be good to go. I did change out the Ruger. This is the buttstock that came with the Ruger. You know, standard military style 6-position buttstock. I changed it out for a Trinity Force 6-position buttstock. Trinity Force is one of those companies that's a small name company. I changed it out because they had a deal going on, and this buttstock was only 20 bucks when I got it. I don't know how much it is now, but it's a Trinity Force 6-position buttstock. It's lighter than the buttstock that came with the weapon. It has soft rubber on the cheek area of the buttstock. It also has nice soft rubber for the butt pad. All right, and it is longer than the normal Ruger buttstock. Is longer, and if you guys have seen me in person, you notice that I have these big George of the Jungle long monkey arms. So I need something with a little bit of length to it, which this works for me. You know, I just go ahead and extend it out. I got that length. If I'm doing CQB or whatever, I close it back down. You know, keep it close to the chest. All right, so what did I put on this? What did I add on this? Well, of course, I added the Optic System. This is an Ozark Armament red dot, green dot sight. Standard 1-to-1 magnification. There's no magnification at all. When you hear somebody say 1-to-1 magnification, they're talking about just standard magnification, all right? What you see is what you get, basically. Now, I added that there. Ozark Armament is sort of a small name company, but this red dot, green dot has kind of stood up to a lot of stuff that I put it through. They call it the Rhino, and they say it's supposed to stand up to a lot of stuff. Now, the dot is not as crisp or smooth as, say, like a Sig Sauer Romeo 5, but it does the job. I don't need a crisp, smooth dot when I'm only shooting dudes no more than like 200, 250 yards out. All right? That's about it. So, this red dot, green dot sight does the job for me. Now, what about those off chances where I don't want to test the limits of my accuracy by eye? Well, that's where I added this magnification. This is from Hammer Industries. Yeah, when I called them, I made fun of them. I was like, you know, Tony Stark is gonna hate your guts. But yeah, this is made by Hammers. It's a 3 magnification. So when I'm looking through this at something, it will be 3 times. If it's 30 yards away, and I look through this, it will look like it's 10 yards away. All right. So it's a 3 times magnification. You know what I'm saying? All right. Got it. That's a math lesson for the day. Coupled with that, it's good to go. Notice this Ruger sight sits perfectly underneath. I'm not, you know, getting it caught up or anything. When I don't need the magnification, I flip it to the side, pop up my rear sight, and I have everything co-witnessed all the way to the front sight because the front sight post is F height, so it co-witnesses perfectly through an optic. So, what is on this front sight post right here? Well, aside from the covered up bayonet lug, what do I have covering the bayonet lug? Is a True Glow flashlight. Well, it's a laser light combo, all right? There's the light, and there's the laser, all right? And you can't see it through the camera, but there is a setting where the laser and the light are on at the same time. So, I got the flashlight, got the laser, all in one. Pretty dope stuff. Now, what do I use this for? I use it for duty, you know? When I'm out there, you know, 5, sometimes 6 nights a week, you know, this is my duty rifle. I take it with me on duty. I took it with me on sea duty once. It stood the test. It stood up to the test of salt water. I mean, of course, I was cleaning it like crazy, but it stood up to the test of salt water. You know, if I get lucky with the State Department and I'm able to take this overseas, I'm going to take it overseas, and it's going to, you know, thus far, it hasn't failed me yet, and it stood up to, it'll stand up to that test too. So yeah, this is my duty rifle. The reason why, well, I'm normally known as a builder. All right. A lot of you guys know I build my AR-15s a lot of the times. But on this instance, I had to go out and buy one. And this is one of my advice. This is a little bit of advice I'll give to you. Everybody should go out and buy one AR-15. At the very least, buy one AR-15. Because you want to have something that is reliable enough to go bang every time you pull the trigger. Now, I may be a pretty good builder, but sometimes I make mistakes. And I don't want to have one of my mistakes out there with me when my life depends on it. So, buy at least one AR-15 that you know is going to go bang anytime you pull the trigger. All right? Not only that, buy one from a company that has a very awesome warranty. Ruger's warranty is amazing. When I came back from sea duty, I called them up. I said, hey, I just got back from sea duty. Is there any specialized lubricant or cleaner or protectant that you think that you guys recommend I use on your rifle? Because I just got back and I want to, you know, make sure I don't lose this bad boy. They said, hey man, don't worry about it. Go ahead and send it back. We'll send you a new one. I was like, what? Ruger is doing it up big time. So they hooked me up. You know what I'm saying? So they like send it back. This is actually my third AR-556. The first one was the sea duty one. The second one, I broke the buttstock off from the buffer tube. And I called them up and I was like, oh, I broke the buttstock. They said, send it back, we'll get you a new one. So I sent my buttstock back in 2 pieces, and they sent me a new one. And it was amazing. You know, they were like, yeah, you got it. But then the buffer tube was all messed up, and then they were like, just send us the rifle back. We'll take care of it. And they did, you know. It's just like Ozark Armament, you know, their customer service is amazing. Ruger's customer service is amazing. That's what I say. Buy at least one AR-15 from a reputable company that you can trust your life with. All right. Now, what's up with this? You know, what are you saying? Well, what if you want to go out and buy one? I say you go out and buy a Ruger AR-556. Now, the reason why I say that is not because I'm a fanboy. It's because, one, the gun is rugged. It's reliable. It can take a beating, as you can see. I mean, this is not the most pristine rifle in the bunch. It has its blemishes and its scars, but chicks dig scars. Speaking of chicks digging scars, fellas, wrap it up. All right? Wrap it up, because it's getting wild out there. All right? Now, this one is rugged. It's reliable. It takes a beating. The customer service is awesome. And the reason why I value this one more than I value the SR-556 is because all these parts were made in-house by Ruger, and it drove the price point all the way down. You can buy this AR-15 without the lights and the optics and with the standard buttstock. You can buy this for under $500 now. Okay? And the price is going to do nothing but drop. All right? You can go out and, well, unless something happens and then the prices go back up. But I'm telling you right now, go out and buy one right now. Because, one, it's hard to keep, gun stores are hard to keep it's hard for gun stores to keep these on the shelf. Speaking of gun stores, big ups to my boys at Guns Plus 2 in North Carolina for having this Ruger AR-556 on the shelf when I walked in. You guys are amazing. And, you know, big ups to you guys. You guys keep me well armed. You know what I'm saying? And it's going to be like that. I owe you guys tacos, by the way, so I'm going to go ahead and hook you up with tacos. But yeah, man, it's hard for you want to buy an SR-556, go right ahead and buy the SR-556. You'll find those on the shelves all day long. All right? You'll find them new, you'll find them used, you'll find them all over the shelf all day long. This one right here, not so much. All right? This bad boy flies off the shelf because, one, the price point is amazing. 2, the customer service is amazing. 3, it's a trusted name from a trusted brand, made in America. And if you're a gun nut like I am, you kind of value stuff that's made in America because that's just pretty much how you roll. It's how you get down. All right. Yeah. So this is my duty rifle. It was getting replaced at the point in time. It was going to be replaced by the Springfield Saint. But Springfield decided to do some dumb stuff with the gun owners and gun sellers in Illinois. You guys go ahead and read all about that one. Yeah, Springfield decided to do some dumb stuff, so I got rid of the Saint and I went back to the Ruger. I should have never left the Ruger in the first place because this bad boy has never treated me wrong. It's sort of like that girl that you have and you think, you know, you think that, oh, I could do better than her, and then you go out and you try to do better than her, and the next thing you know, you can't do better than her, so you turn back around and run right back to her. This Ruger is just like that girl, all right? Speaking of girls that you're running back to, fellas, wrap it up, because it's getting kind of wild out there. So, what am I going to call this bad boy? I'm going to call it Gene Simmons, okay? So, why Gene Simmons? All right, you take off the optics. You take off the light. What do you have? You have a standard AR-15. Alright? What's the old adage? Keep it simple, stupid. I don't have any battle rails going on up here. No battle comps. I don't have no MOE triggers. I don't have that ultralight skeleton stock. It's basically, you know, minus the end plate and the butt stock. It's basically the normal freaking Ruger that I pulled out of the box. Kept it simple. Keep it simple, stupid. Kiss. Hence is why I'm calling it Gene Simmons. Gene Simmons is awesome. I fell asleep on your concert one time. I was partying for like 5 days straight. I'm sorry. It was in Vegas, man. You know what happens in Vegas? Stays in Vegas until you decide to tell somebody who's not in Vegas. Yeah. Oh, so yeah. Look at here. Standard military aluminum magazine. Don't need all that bells and whistles nonsense going on. You know. Trinity Force buttstock, Ozark armament, hammers, freaking magnifier. You don't need to spend a whole bunch of money on an AR-15 for it to go bang and for it to work for you. All right? You don't need to do all that stuff. You can spend, you know, you don't have to break your bank and you can get a nice rifle. What's my man from Benghazi in 13 Hours? Tonto? That dude's running around with a Bushmaster that he bought back in 2004, 2005. He's like, you don't need to spend a lot of money for it. You know, you buy a rifle, and then as you grow, the rifle grows with you, and you change things out on it as you go along. You know, now, there's nothing wrong with the $2,000 Daniel Defense rifle. There's nothing wrong with the Bravo Company rifle. There's nothing wrong with the LWRC rifle. But you don't need to spend all that money on a rifle for it to go bang. Are those rifles worth the money? In some cases, yeah, they are. In other cases, you're really paying for a name. Case in point, the Ruger SR-556. It's a $2,000 rifle. You're paying for a piston-driven gas system and Troy Industries furniture all over the bad boy. All right? Why is the SR-556 with a piston drive $2,000 and the AR-556 gas-driven is under $500? It's because they took away all the bells and whistles. Everything on this bad boy is standard. Everything on this bad boy is just regular. The trigger group, regular. The palm swell and pistol grip, regular. All this stuff is stuff that you will find on the standard bare bones AR-15 rifle. But they made it in-house. They didn't outsource any parts on it. So the price point's driven down. Hence is why I say buy this. Low price, awesome customer service, and you get a good rugged rifle. This bad boy's been through some shit. It really has. And I'm very proud of it. That's why I'm getting so passionate and excited about this. I'm very proud of this. You know what I'm saying? I'm proud to say, you know what? Yeah, this is mine. This is mine. This is mine. I'm very proud of it. All right? It handles its business. It does its job. It keeps me safe. It lets me come back home to my daughter. And that's pretty much all I'm worried about. Buy one AR-15 that no matter what, you know you can rely on it to get you through whatever's thrown your way that you need a gun for. All right? If you get like a flat tire, don't go run into your AR-15 to fix a flat tire. I think you'll have you might make it worse. But, you know, gun-wise, you know, you got your good stuff there. All right? And then outfit it how you want it, you know? Magnifier, red dot sight, flashlight. Yeah, flashlight. Awesome flashlight. Keep the flashlight on your weapons because you need to know what you're looking at. Whenever you're pulling the trigger, trying to mix metal with meat, you got to figure out what you're looking at. All right? Don't go blind shooting in the dark like Kevin Costner in The Bodyguard. Y'all remember that movie? And I ain't gonna do that to y'all. My bad. I am not gonna do that to y'all. We'll always love you. Psych. Y'all fell for that. Anyway, the Ruger AR-556, also known as Gene Simmons. Everybody, meet Gene Simmons. Gene Simmons, meet everybody. I don't want no trouble out of y'all. The snacks in the back. All right? Any questions? Hit me up in the comment box below, and I will get at y'all on the flip side.